Getting accepted to Harvard is an accomplishment itself, but what a young man from our area is doing there is getting him recognition across the country. A few years ago, as a freshman, Angel Onuoha founded a nonprofit hedge fund that teaches African-American students about investing and fund management. Now at 20 years old, he's leading national conferences and launching a scholarship program. Christine Noel sat down with Angel to talk about what motivates him in this week's Sunday Conversation.
You are the CEO and founder of VLK Capital Management. How did you even get started in that, and what does that look like?
It's actually a pretty funny story. So I came into college as a chemistry major. I applied to Harvard and was accepted as a chemistry major and thought that I wanted to be pre-med. I wanted to be a doctor. And what actually happened was I knew I was interested in business because I had run a business in high school buying and selling basketball shoes. And so I always had sort of that penchant to me. And so I decided to check out some of the finance organizations after having some conversations with my older brother, who basically told me, if you want to be a doctor and you're not super passionate about it, then it's going to be a hard road ahead of you. And so that's what I did. So I checked out some of the early finance organizations. And one of the things I noticed was that there's not that many people of color in the room. And I was a bit confused by that because I didn't think that people of color were any less interested in finance than anybody else, but knew that there were some barriers historically that have prevented people of color from going into finance. And so that was one of the things that I started investigating around campus. Was I started talking to some of my friends and just asking them, why weren't you coming to these great meetings, these clubs, great organizations, amazing resources and education programs? And a lot of them did mention that they didn't feel comfortable being one of the only people of color in those rooms. And so that's what sort of started the idea for VLK Capital Management, which was basically creating this space where people of color could feel comfortable and then also not have any prior experience and get to learn how to invest and learn a little bit more about finance.
And you grew up and went to high school in the Woodlands.
Yes.
Right? So from the Woodlands to Harvard, you join the campus group, as a freshman, and then you start asking these questions, and then boom, this sort of takes off, right?
Yeah. It was pretty slow at first, and now it's definitely taking off. And so it actually started as a program that was originally meant to be for Harvard and a few schools on the East Coast. And then we started to get a lot of demand for interest in the program. And so we sort of made it a virtual program and then expanded nationwide. And so it was pretty fun at first in order to get the first partner on board. And so how we work basically is we partner with a bunch of firms on Wall Street. So those are like Bank of America, Morgan Stanley, Goldman Sachs. And so once we were able to get that first partner on board, then it was a lot easier to sort of get a lot more partners and actually get a program started.
Talk about the scholarship program that you're going to be announcing here.
So basically it's a 4-year program for high school African-American seniors, and the whole point of the program is basically to provide mentorship for students who are interested in entrepreneurship. And I think that it's particularly pretty unique because in the world of entrepreneurship, it's different than finance, it's different from any sort of job that you have, because there's, in sort of most jobs, there's a very clear path of how to advance, and there are very clear steps on what you should do in order to move to the next level. Whereas for entrepreneurship, you're basically looking at a blank slate and you have no idea what works. You have no idea what could potentially work. There are obviously a lot of different feedback and a lot of different steps that you can take to put yourself in the best position. But at the end of the day, you're really building something from scratch, which is sort of a very scary thing. And if you don't have the right sort of resources and the networks to tap into, you'll probably not be that successful in the field. And so I'm sort of trying to create this program to first of all, get more people interested in entrepreneurship. And second of all, for the people that are interested in entrepreneurship, give them actual structure into how to build something by yourself, how to, sort of tap into the right networks, what networks you should be tapping into, and all of the sort.
What do you hope that others will take away from your management group?
In terms of an entrepreneurial perspective, I think the main thing I want to take away is you should be the change that you want to see in the world. And I think that's really important because a lot of people, they see problems, they might think of potential solutions, and then they don't act upon them. And so they might think, oh, this would be a great program potentially, but this would require this, this, and this, and I don't want to get into those. And so I think that it's very easy to take the first step, form a legal corporation and start something, and then also to get backing. It's sort of just something that eventually goes over time.
The VLK Capital Management Conference took place last month in New York, and as he mentioned, Angel's fellowship program will not only provide scholarship funds, it also will pair recipients with mentors.